Hey guys, welcome back to Follow Her Lead.
If this is a very random start to this, it's because I didn't figure out how to edit the last of the other episode to start on this.
That's okay.
Because we started talking on a tangent and then we ran out of time and it literally timed out on us.
Yep.
Because we talked too much.
Yeah. Well, we had to put the timer on so that we wouldn't
Yeah.
talk too much, but then we forgot to watch the timer. So there we go.
Yeah, it's fine. We're doing great.
Learning
We're
lessons.
just really good podcasters. Okay, so where we left off was you should put mom on your resume and you should always only hire moms.
Yes.
For so long, it feels like being a mom is punished in corporate America because people just think of you as like, you're changing diapers. What do you know about anything? And blah, blah. Okay, moms multitask more than anybody else on the
Yes.
planet. Like, we are multitask gurus.
Gurus and
The
can
mental
hear
load.
everything and feel everything going on
Yes.
around you.
And we emotionally regulate all the time, especially if you have toddlers and teenagers, really all the whole way through childhood. Emotionally regulate everybody, everything, keep up the mental load of the house. Like, all these things make you a great rock star employee. Also, like, you need money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't discount how much people will work hard if they need a paycheck. Like, that's a real
Bizarre,
thing.
right? It's like I've got to feed two other mouths.
I have 3 kids. What? Do you know what a
Overtime?
grocery bill
Yes.
is?
Sign me up. I need
Yeah,
that. All of those things.
we stopped shopping at Publix. We now go to Aldi. Aldi is
Oh,
amazing, by the way.
okay.
Like,
All
they have the
right.
best
Shout out to
snacks.
Aldi.
Shout out to Aldi because
Want to
their
send
grocery
us some
bill is amazing.
snacks?
Yes, I would love to be sponsored by Aldi, to be honest. I clear out their snack aisle like it's going out of style every single week, and it's gone by Tuesday.
I love that.
Yeah.
But no, not saying that we aren't going to hire anybody but moms. But like going back into what we were saying in the last podcast was, there was a period of time where it seemed like everyone that was coming to us to work were single moms. And it was, again, talking about the law of attraction, the people that we're attracting into our lives. I think we gave just a safe space for moms to feel like they can actually grow in a career. They can actually feel appreciated. We pour into them with personal development, like things to just make them better. But I always say that moms just have a different grit. Like we just have a different, like you said, ability to see everything, do everything, and just like the commitment to get a job done and finish it in a good way. I think is super important. Also, you're attached to a purpose. You have your children you're working for, you're trying to build a better life for them, trying to be a better person, give them a better life. So I just think too is like not just about being a mom, but also just having something in your life and having a purpose to work towards or something that you love more than yourself, right? Because I think Tony Robbins talks about it all the time too. Like the biggest epidemic on earth is selfishness.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Also, you're such a well-rounded, like, you have to just function every single day no matter what. There is no safety net.
None. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're sick, okay, get out of bed because I just remember days of being a single mom, and there is a perception of single moms not like
Having it together,
having it together because like your life is always a hot mess because there's always like somebody's missing a shoe or there's boogers or whatever. Like
boogers. Only if you're a single mom, though. Us marrieds, we
yeah,
don't worry about
on their clothes
boogers.
when you're dropping them off at school. I don't know. I might have a little bit of trauma from that.
What happened in their childhood? I want to
I
unpack
don't even
that.
remember.
But I will say, this is what I love is that you being out there and like showcasing your kid, especially social media, giving it such like a personal touch of like, you never once shied away from like, I am a mom.
Yeah.
You're right. I am the CEO and I'm a mom and I'm doing both. And then it gave all of us confidence. Like, it gives me confidence to be like, I am the CMO
Yeah.
and I'm going to wear pink and I'm going to be a mom and
Yeah.
I'm not going to like apologize for if I do have to leave because my kid started a fight at school or whatever. Whatever happens in life, but
Yeah.
I'm going to do a really good job. And then going further, like with my team, I have 2 brand new moms. They're both new moms.
Yeah.
And if I can do one thing, it would be pass it on to them of, you are going to be a rock star mom and you're going to be a rock star employee and we're going to have an awesome team. But I also understand like when you wake up and you're panicking because you have to tell me that like somebody's sick, and I'm just like, yeah, go, it's fine. I
Yeah.
got it. I got it. Because in turn, when it's my turn, they have my back. So I think that like having that is so, it's just, I think that's why we attract it too, is because we're all in it together. Like,
we're
we really do
all
need
in it together. And it's so like the anti-corporate. I don't ever want anybody to feel like they have pressure or to feel bad if their kids are sick or, feel bad if they have to leave early because something happened with their kids. And I think that's the stigma that moms get, the stigma that especially single moms get, right? Because you don't have any help.
Mhm.
It's like all on you. I had so many bad jobs when my kids were little where I felt like that, and I never want anybody to feel like that. Like something that's so important to me is like health insurance, right? Like, when you're a single mom, that's as a mom, you're like the last thing that I want to pay for is health insurance for myself. Like as long as the kids have it, I'm good. Like I can't really afford it. And like that is super important to me too. Is just doing the things for my team that I didn't get as a single mom where I just that little bit of extra support where I feel like, okay, it's okay to be a mom and to be a professional at the same time is like all I want to do.
Shout out to you too because, like a couple weeks ago, that storm that was coming, and I was not expecting like us to get to go home early. And you sent a text to like the leadership group chat, which doesn't exist but exists, and you were like, "Hey, like, do you think we should let everybody go home early?" And like at the same time, Morgan had just gotten a call, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, the daycare is closing at 3. What am I gonna do? Like, I got to see if my husband can pick up." And I was like, "It's okay, like you go." And then I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, we're closing early anyway, so you're
Yeah.
off the hook." And then I got an email from somebody else on the team, not in our department, and was like, "Thank you. I was panicking because I got the school was closed. I can't believe you guys closed for
Yeah.
us. Like, thank you so much." And I was like, "Hey, we were all getting the same notifications, and that's why moms are awesome because
$100%.
it was just like something so small, like, you forget, but like something so small like that, like letting everybody who needed to leave go early without penalty was
Mhm.
amazing because it really does make a difference."
It makes a huge difference and like, being in Florida, this is something we like deal with hurricanes a
Yeah,
lot too, right?
schools start closing.
Yeah, and everyone's always like, "What are we gonna do?" Like, "Well, so and so is not closed," and I'm like, "We always follow the school system." Like, if the schools are closed, we lose half of our team. So, might as well just make them not stress
Mhm.
because childcare is incredibly expensive on days that school's out. Like, summer break, I remember what it was like trying to pay for all these summer camps and things like that. So, just whatever we can do to make things easier
Mhm.
for moms and just showing people that it's important. Like, we know that being a mom is like number one priority. Like your job, yes, you love it, but your kids are your number one priority.
Mhm. You reminded me of, have you seen that reel or the interview that whoever just won, she won a Golden Globe, I think, and she was like, they're interviewing her before, they're like, "This must be a night you always dreamed of." She's like, I actually didn't dream about this. I dreamt about like being able to have health insurance and
Yeah,
like,
I saw that.
she's like, now I've got dental, I've got vision, I go see a dermatologist, and it's like
I
that's
love
so
that.
real. Like you're so real for that
So
because
real.
I do. I also remember being in it and like picking the worst insurance plan,
Oh
and
God.
now I get so excited when I get to pick a good one, and I'm like, "Ooh, a low deductible."
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
yes.
I'm still like, I think I still have trauma from it now because even when I'm sick, I'm like, I'm not going to the doctor
Oh my
because
god,
I
yes.
like literally, I don't even think I know how much it costs to even have like a random doctor's visit because I went with health insurance for so long,
Yep.
and you just pray every day that nothing bad is going to happen.
Yeah, I you can always tell when someone, came from money or not because, you either are someone who goes to the doctor or you're
Yeah.
someone who's like, "I'm fine," and you only go to the doctor if you're absolutely dying,
Oh yeah.
and I'm on the second camp because like, if my son when I was a single mom, if my son was sick and it was just like sniffles, like, we're not go it's not
Yeah.
it cost us $100
Yeah.
just to
It's
go to the doctor and them
like
tell
go
me
to
that it's a
urgent care
cold.
and you're like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah,
Like, I'm
and then
not
they're like,
going.
"Here's, like, Tylenol." You're like, "I had that at home."
Yeah.
You get so conditioned to, like, not.
You get so conditioned out, and then you, like, think in your head, you're like, okay, I just missed a half day of work, that could have been PTO, like, I had to
Yes.
take you." Nah, I love my children,
Yes, we love
but
them so much.
love them so much, but, they both have great immune systems now, we
Yeah.
work through a lot. We work through a
Yeah.
lot not being able to even afford to go to the doctor.
It's fine, it makes you appreciate the things like keeping your lights on without stressing,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, they had kid care for a long time, thank God for I mean, I'm not ashamed to say they had government health insurance, so it
Yeah.
is what it is.
Listen, also, I would like to talk about, like, divorce is not a dirty word,
Yeah,
and if you're going through it or, like, if you like, I think that you're a great example of, like, first of all, co-parenting, coexisting in the same industry of somebody else, never, like, going and always keeping it very profesh.
Yeah.
We love that for you.
Yeah.
But also just like going through it and like not being ashamed of it and not hiding away. Like you were a single mom and
Yeah.
you got divorced and then you rebuilt yourself after. And I think that that's a story that should be told too. A lot of women feel like it's the end of the world if it happens, and it happens so often. And we need to get rid of that stigma. Like you'll be okay,
Yeah.
and you really can do this on your own if you need to.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to like give advice if anybody like, going through it, if they feel like they're restarting their whole life, and also that you don't die at 30? Like,
Yeah. Oh gosh.
God,
No.
40 looks amazing on you. Like, you've
Thank
had your
you.
best years in your
Yes.
40s,
I
and
know.
I now think of 40s as the new 20s. I can't wait to get there. I'm like, that sounds amazing.
I literally, what's so
She's
funny?
got the glow up.
I
She's
guess
doing well. You
I know
know,
I'll be 42 in July, which is just crazy because I literally, if I would have thought about that, 10 years ago, I'd have been like, oh my God, I'm going to be so old and ragged. And I feel like I'm living my best
you
years
are.
right now, which is incredible. But, I think, going back to divorce and, it is that D word that it's hard, when you have to go through it and make that decision. But I think as long as you understand that the kids always comes first, and that's something that was always super important to me. And just keeping a balanced environment for them is super important. But understanding too that I think the one thing that came out of divorce for me was that I don't think I would have pushed myself as hard as I do now. And that's the beautiful thing that came out of it is like, okay, I've got to go figure this stuff out on my own because I don't know that I'm going to be remarried again. I don't know that I'm going to have, a second income in my household. This is just all on me now. So I really that was just a pinnacle of just another good breakthrough where it's like, okay, I got to figure stuff out and really really push myself to the limit.
Mhm.
So I think that it's a beautiful thing if you look at it in a way of it really opens you up to see the capacity that you truly have as a person.
I really think that there's something to be said too about like when you're put in those positions of like for me when I was a single mom suddenly at 19 years old, like you're like there's no way out other than just through.
Yeah,
So like we're just gonna put on our big girl pants and go figure out the world at 19 years old as a mom.
100%.
And you just don't. And like same with like when I moved down here from Michigan with just me and Jaden when he was going in kindergarten, it was like everybody thought I was insane. And I was like, no, I just have to remove myself from like I need can't have a parachute. I can't live in my hometown with my parents. I need to just like
Yeah.
go out somewhere where it's scary
Mhm.
and learn to fall and learn to get back up. And I think that it's like a beautiful journey of like falling and getting back up, and getting back up you learn so much more
Yeah.
than if it's like a smooth sailing.
I couldn't agree more, and I think that, also just, being a single mom and, like, remembering that like, I always approach everything without a plan B, and I think that, like, having a plan B kind of makes you play
Mhm.
small. So I'm like, "Okay, it's either gonna be this or it's not, right? Or I'm just gonna have to go restructure," but I never approach anything with a plan B. I'm like, "It is just a no plan B option, so this is either gonna, work massively or I'm gonna fail massively, and I'm just gonna learn from it." So I love that mindset too.
How did you get comfortable with failure? Because I feel like it's such a hard thing to learn, to like
Yeah.
really like look back and be like that was a lesson.
Mhm.
And I feel like it's, very easy to say that,
Yeah.
but when you're going through it, it's not easy to, like, look at it and just not feel like you're failing.
Yeah, I think, you're a lot of people, especially as perfectionists, I'm a recovering perfectionist. I say that all the time. I'm still work on it because I try not to overanalyze and be perfect at everything. But just, remembering that failures are like always lessons and just trying to see the bigger picture. So I'm getting much better at like, if something happens where I feel like I failed or something didn't work out or we didn't, get some sort of account or anything, like the time frame that I allow myself to like be in suffering is a lot shorter.
Mhm,
So if you can get to that, you're going to start getting much better with failure. So, you put yourself in that suffering moment. It's like I could have done this, I could have done that. Why does this always happen to me? And I'm just get myself out of that a lot sooner and be like, okay, wait, what's the universe telling me? That maybe this person that we were going to work with just wasn't in alignment. And then it's so beautiful because it always shows up later on where it's like, God, I see why you didn't let that work out for me. So it's just seeing that failures are not necessarily failures per se, but they're lessons that you have to learn.
mhm. I love that. It's just such a good way to really just reframe it in your mind of like, whatever the reason that this is not going to work out is like, that wasn't the journey.
Yeah,
And
it
this
wasn't
is
the
like
journey. Yeah.
a redirect versus like an end of destination. I feel like so many people live in it. I had a professor in college who it was like the dumbest thing ever, but it stuck with me. And it was like, you can visit Pity City, but you can't move in. So like you can be like, that
Yeah,
sucked. I failed, but you're not allowed to like live in it. Like
I
you
love
have to
that.
just keep going.
Yeah, there's like, especially as a business owner and okay, like coming from a very, not well off family, like, not like ideas around money was very scarcity mindset. But as a business owner, having to kind of reframe that too, but like around money, like you're going to have a lot of failures around money. And that's probably like the scariest thing as a business owner because you got to take a lot of risks. And with risk comes cost, right?
Hmm.
Especially financially, and I've lost a lot of money when it comes to taking risks, but other risks I've gained 10 times the amount of money. So there's like a really good book called The Road Less Stupid by Keith Cunningham. And I always think of it in my head because if I lose money on a business deal or lose money with something, he calls it a dumb tax. I'm like, well, there's more dumb tax. And so, like, you just got to kind of like frame it in a different way. It's like, okay, there's my dumb tax. I got to get a little bit smarter. So it's just like teaching you how to like deal with those financial losses better too.
Is there a lesson that you wish you would have learned sooner, faster? Like anything that really, really stuck with you? You're like, man, if I knew this from day one, this would have been so much better.
I think probably, gosh, it's always for me going to be around the people. So even Warren Buffett says like business is easy, people are hard.
Mm.
Because we're in a huge people business, right? Our business is all customer service. We're heavy, heavy on the payroll side, on the people side.
Stop looking at me.
Yeah. We were just talking about her job not being like income producing. So she's like,
This is
"Why are you
income producing.
staring
We're
at
gonna
me
have
like that?"
swag.
We love
Buy
our
our
we
swag,
love our
please.
marketing girlies. But I think it's just following your gut more and not being so when you get busy in business, like you hold on to people and things a lot more because you just think that you're not going to be able to make your way through it. But, I think the hiring slow and firing fast philosophy is something that I learned way too late
Mhm.
in my business. So, a lot of us hold on to hires based on ego and you don't even realize it, right? Like you hired them. So, like, you see something and then they don't see it themselves. You keep pushing them, but they're not necessarily doing well. And you don't want to let go of them because it would bruise your own ego, right? You were the one that hired them. You're like, God, they're going to be good. Like, but Amanda, that's been 4 years. Like, come on, just, you need to like fire a lot faster. So I saw this podcast with Gary Vee where he's talking about, he hired this like super important role. It
I
was
saw
like,
the same one. I was just about to read this up.
yeah, he, and I loved it because he was like, he started on day one, and I literally fired him the same day, like because you get those gut instincts, and I have a really good gut instinct, and we were just talking about this earlier too. Like I always get that gut instinct, and just being able to follow it better
Mm.
and realizing that just because I have to cut somebody or move them to a different apartment or whatever, it doesn't mean that I'm a failure, right? We take it as an ego bruise to ourselves and we don't even realize we're doing it. So just getting better at that and yeah, hiring slow and firing fast.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's hard too because I whenever you teeter from your gut is when you end up doing the wrong move, and I've seen it happen with you, and
Yeah,
I've watched you make a decision and then be talked out of the decision and then been like, why didn't we just
yeah,
yeah, that I think that's one thing that like leaders in general have to do is like double down. And even if it's the wrong one,
yeah,
it was yours to make. It was your mistake.
100%.
It was your mistake to make. Don't like talk yourself out of what you think is the right decision.
Yeah, we
You
tend to talk ourselves out of the
so much.
best ideas because we just start over analyzing. And it's like when they say in real estate, right? Your best offer is always, or your first offer is always your best offer. Like it always ends up coming back to that. So it's like the same in business, like that first thought, that first instinct where you're like, I'm
Mhm,
going to do this, is typically always the best one. So
mhm,
just go with it. So just again, just acting on your thoughts and your decisions a lot faster is super, super important.
mhm. The other thing is like leave it all on the floor. So do it, execute it, and even if it's not perfect, even if it's not like amazing, like get it done,
Yeah.
because your notebook full of the best ideas and the best business plan you've ever made and the camera roll full of videos that never got posted, it's like it's just sitting there gathering dust. Just
Yeah.
like get it out, get it done, perfect it later. I think
Yes.
I saw it on a podcast, aka a reel that I watched once a long time ago. I read it in the newspaper. It was like just do it and launch it and not be perfect and then get perfect.
Yes.
Like put it out there and then you'll figure out what you're doing and you'll find the flaws and you'll get better. But if you never even start, then you're not even starting. So
Yeah. Yeah. So everything has to have action with it. And that's why I said, like, you're going to get the confidence along the way, just the courage to even just put it out there and not having that comparison approach to everything else, right? Because that's where the perfection comes from. Is like you're comparing it to what somebody else has done. You're like, why does mine look like that? Or why don't I have the perfect lighting or, whatever. It's like, just put it out there. You've gotten me really good at that, where I'll just record
we just
something
don't
and
even,
like not even watch it back. I'm like, just put it out there because
yeah.
I'm gonna hate it.
Yeah, we're gonna judge it so
Like I'm gonna
harshly.
hate it. I'm gonna hate this video. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
watch it
we're
back at
never
all.
watching this
No.
podcast.
It's just gonna go out there and I'm
It's gonna
just gonna
have
let
its
it
own
sit
life.
there. And I'm, probably if I would watch it back in the past, in the last 4 years before or something, I would have redone this 35 times.
Oh, yeah, we would have just shut it down already. We would have been
Yeah.
like, "This is so cringe. We can't do this."
I hate my voice. I
Yeah.
hate this. Da, da,
Well,
da.
that angle wasn't great. Let's redo the whole video.
Yeah.
No, but I do think, and I think that one thing is people get in their heads and they think there's like this closet full of haters, and maybe there is. Maybe there is a ton of people who don't like us or whatever. That's fine for them. I feel bad for you though,
Yeah.
but that's fine for them. But there's also like a whole group of people you probably haven't met yet that are gonna be hella inspired by the podcast or the
Yes.
whatever, and they're gonna reach out to you and they're gonna say, I've always wanted to do that. How did you do that? And you just tell them and
Yeah.
lift up the next person behind you. That was one thing, like when I did my own business for a little bit, that surprised me so much was how many people came out of the woodwork that like don't even talk to from like high school were like, I've always wanted to do something like that. I can't believe you did that. And I was like, it's really not
Yeah.
hard. Just do the XYZ.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna inspire so many people just by what you're doing. So don't
100%.
shy away from like the couple people might be like, oh my gosh, did you see that
Like she
video? Did
thinks that
you?
she can make
She thinks she's a CEO. Like there's gonna be those people. Oh, what is she? CMO of
We
who?
always do
Two
this
people.
voice whenever
What are you talking about?
whenever we get in each other's heads about like what people will think we do this voice. I don't
Yeah.
know where it comes from,
I
but
don't know either. This is like probably one of those really late
we're like,
nights.
oh, she just shoots confetti and makes money.
What is that? Confetti illegal? We're giving up too much of our personal
I
lives
know.
right now. But
We have so much fun, I promise.
yeah, but yeah, no, that's like you get in your head and you're like, they're gonna all talk about it. It's like, when have you ever called up someone? I'm like, Janet, did you see blah blah blahs, blah blah
Oh
blah blah
my
blah?
God.
Like no one cares.
No one
So just
cares.
get past yourself and your own ego and just know if you made a mistake, it's okay. Like you're gonna learn from it. And if you end up like, hire slow, fire fast, just like stick with your gut.
Yeah. And put that mom on your resume.
And I'm a mom, I'm a resume because
That
listen,
is the highest power.
I will say I was going into interviews. I was interviewing a bunch of people for the position. And when I was talking to Morgan, who I ended up hiring, and she said, I could do it tomorrow. I have like a baby, so I'm gonna have to try and find. And I was like, no, just bring your baby on the Zoom. And I already knew in my head that I hired her. I was like, she is a new mom and she is trying to do this.
Yeah.
And she was exceptionally talented to begin with, but like her resume was great, but she was also a mom. And I was like,
Oh, I love
done.
that.
We're done. This is it.
Yeah, and Morgan's awesome.
And she's awesome.
Yeah, she
Gio
turned
too.
out
They're
great.
both
Oh no, they're
yep.
both great.
Yep.
New moms. So
New moms.
shout
We
out
love
to
them.
those new moms.
Shout out to them editing
They are
this.
doing that dang thing.
They're listening to this right now, editing, putting it together for
Yeah.
us. Thank you.
Love you. With a baby
Can
in
you
the lap.
believe they wear dolphins?
Can you believe? Oh, so shout out to
Shout
our
out.
team.
I am shopping from Amanda's closet today. This is really cute and comfortable. I thought I was casual. I had a sparkle vest on. I guess it's not casual. So we are trying to be the people right now.
I don't know if the Miami Dolphins want to tag us or
Yes.
we're just supporting you right now.
We are. Isn't their season over though?
Yeah. I don't. Why'd you
I'm
have
a
to bring that
Jags
up?
fan. I'm actually a Lions fan.
You
And
are
we're
a Lions
going
fan,
to the
and
Super Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl.
That's a stretch.
Oh, okay. We're taking down the Bucks this
Okay.
week. So
I know. That's going to be a good one.
It is going to be. I don't know anything about football, but I just like to talk shit.
I know. I was
That's
like,
really my
since
thing.
when are you a big football
I
fan?
just have them locked and loaded. So if anybody says anything to me, I can just like do an accurate talking shit. I just like to talk shit to people.
Just surprised you're not a Chiefs fan.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Did you see that Travis Kelce? They were like saying how his last name is actually Kels. Did you see this?
Yeah, I
What do
don't
you
know
think
if
that's
it's
accurate?
no, I don't.
Okay.
They have their own podcast and they introduce themselves, don't they?
I
I
thought
thought they say
so.
their own
Well, they
last
had
name.
their dad on there and they were like, "How should we tell people to introduce us?" And he was like, "I don't know, just whatever you think." And they're like, "What a dad response." So
Yeah.
apparently I think they've just been called by different
I think they're
last
like
names.
such nice guys that they would never like his name's probably not even Jason or Travis. They're probably like Michael and John or something. Like, like it's probably like not even the right names. They're just like too nice, too Midwest to and they're from like Ohio. Like they're like too Midwest to be like say anything.
Way
They're
too
like, yeah,
yeah.
we're just happy to be here. Call me whatever. My
Oh
name's
my god.
Scott.
Whatever. Just here
Yes.
throw the football.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Chiefs fan. I'm a Taylor fan.
Yeah,
So
got it.
I
Yeah,
got into all of this because of her.
I figured.
Yes, mother was mothering, so I had to get into football. It's fine. I
It's
hope she
fine.
dates someone super random after this, like a skateboarder. We'll have to learn how to do an ollie. Like it'd be great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We don't think it's gonna last?
No, I actually do. I think that I really genuinely think that their end game because they're so all American. Like, can you
They're
imagine their
cute.
royal baby?
Oh,
So
so cute.
talented.
So talented.
Oh, they'd have a boy, he'd be like a rock, like an all-star athlete. They'd have a girl, she'd be like the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like now that you were asking me about, like, Matt and I compared to relationships, I feel like we would be a Taylor Travis
Yeah.
because he's a little edgy and
No,
she's
yes. The golden retriever boyfriend.
oh, yes.
Yes.
Matt
He's
is
a
he's
supportive king. We love him. He's funny. He's entertaining. But then when
yes.
we're like, hey, we need to work, he just trots off,
Yep.
goes and does his phone
Yep.
calls
He
and
is
all
a
stuff.
golden retriever boyfriend for
Yes,
sure.
he's the
It's
best.
sweet.
He's the best. And I love that for Taylor. This is what she needed.
Yeah.
Someone who's because this is the thing. You have to be so confident to date someone who is just light years ahead of you no matter what you do.
Yeah.
She's a billionaire, you own Orlando. Like, like
Thanks.
it's like that you've got to
Stretch.
have you have to have such an intact, like you have to just know like you are proud of your woman, you are supporting her, like it's golden retriever style. We love it. You have to be
Yeah,
so confident in yourself to just
for sure.
to be the side character.
I love that. I don't know how we got off on a
I
tangent
don't
with
know. We just
that,
we need
but
to just do one continuous episode and just
we might have to like max out our time again. I
I
don't think that 30 minutes
all
is
right.
going to be enough for
I
us.
think we're
So
gonna
we
talk
gotta
about
we gotta
golden
wrap her up.
yeah, okay. Can you believe they went on
Full.
tangents?
Can you believe? Are they going to be shooting confetti?
Does the retriever clean up the confetti for them? I hope this goes viral and we get canceled.
We're gonna get canceled. Look, I forgot to do this last time.
Oh, wow.
Hello, in
We
the
really
episode.
Can you believe they spent that much money on production?
Anyway, we love you guys.
Thank you for listening,
listening to us. Put mom on your resume. Get a
Yes.
golden retriever boyfriend.
Oh,
Do
yes.
all those things.
Yeah,
Yes.
start the company.
Start
Raise
that
it
dang
to
company. Do it.
a multi-million-dollar company. Have the best emo. Start a podcast. Talk about it with your bestie. And
Glow up in your 40s.
yeah,
You can do that damn thing.
One day I'll get there.
Yes.
My 40s glow up. All right.
Love you guys. Bye.